welcome back to another Models by Me video. As I alluded to on the last one, we'll be looking at ICM's Do215. So we will do this in the usual manner. We'll have a look at the outside of the box, then the contents, then the instructions, and the sprues. And then finally end with my final thoughts and scores for this. So this kit's actually a 2007 kit. It's a brand new tooling by ICM that they have reissued several times as various 215 variants. The actual plane itself is a little bit interesting because I'm alluding again to the other video regarding the Dornier 17 and its entire history. But one of the things to note is the engines. These are the DB601 engines that was on the Messerschmitts. But this clearly is before all the 601s were prioritised for fighter use and not for bomber use. So yeah, it's a little bit interesting that despite the Luftwaffe trying to rearm itself and get all the new equipment, and this is in the new style nose, not the old style like we looked at previously with the Dornier 17, the 215 is an export version that has the DB601s. So quite interesting little loophole there. Supposedly these were also used in the Battle of Britain, but I saw the plane referenced, but didn't have a chance to actually read what it did during that. So yeah, so let's continue with the rest of this unboxing video, starting with thank you title card with the outside of the box. So nice artwork of the Dornier 215 flying over somewhere. 1/72 scale ICM on the top corner, and this one specifically the reconnaissance version. So you've got all the camo equipment hiding under here. Okie dokie, so I'll have a look at the side of the box here. Oh, a bit of history on the 215. As well as the details on the kit itself. It's a Ukrainian kit again. Not for those under 3 years old. This side we have ICM 72nd, the model kit number 215, and the box art again, just in the little corner there. Sorry, just making sure of something. And a few other kits that ICM do. So we've got a Eindecker, an I5. Okay, that one looks familiar. A Tu-25 and a MiG-29. ICM again. And this side, yes, he did this again, and I can't do it. I can't stand it up because the way I've mounted the camera today. ICM, the box art again, and a brief, well, exactly what the plane is. So if you want to display the box this way round, you can do it like so. Or if you want to display the box this way, you can still read it. I do like that feature. Contents. Oh, yeah, contents. Because I forgot it's a box. So I don't tend to do the undersides half the time because there's nothing there. Right, so yeah, contents. We have folded A4 bit of paper for instructions. We have one bag with all the sprues in it. Free Sardinians. Yeah, okay, the usual, not suitable for those under 7 years. Who's that? Oh, that's somebody else sold. I bought the kit off. And the decals, which not too bad. It is actually marked there, unfortunately. Writing, yeah, by the looks means you can just about. Sorry, let's get it in camera view. Oh yeah, you can read those. So yeah, you can read it apart from the black scribbling just there. Overall, not too bad at decals. I've got a feeling might have to take some care with these, trying to get them off the backing paper. Just something tells me if you wait too long, you've lost it. It's floating away in the water. And equally, if you don't leave it long enough, you will tear most decals. You will tear them, but these I feel like you will tear more easily than others. But that's it for the contents and the decals. Instructions. So, first off, we start with a sprue guide or sprue map. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 plain 4 plain pieces of plastic and 1 clear plastic. And we've got the codes down here as well. Just bring it up to the camera so you can read it. Do215, make 2 of them, optional, bend, and parts not in use, which is these down here. Small jump cut because the camera decided to fall over. So what I was saying is, yes, looks like these parts might not be used, as well as some up here as well. Oh yeah, I recognise that. That's for installation of cannons and machine guns in the nose. I know that piece. But yeah, most of that lot is not used. So, okie dokie. Let's continue with the rest of this. So let's open them up. And yeah, I will try and get the camera to focus, but what you're seeing is about as well as I can see, not looking through the camera. This is a very badly printed and then photocopied, technically, 2 pieces of A4 bits of paper. We will try our best. So start off with, we will focus the camera. There we go. So we work on the starboard side of the cockpit, because it's in 2 sections, this thing. Or 4, technically. So we've got to put the radios on the side, plus the navigator bomb aimer seat. I suppose he's a photographer in this version, but... and a few extra pieces. And then the port side. Apologies. Now the port side, where you put the... that is the rear machine gunner, and oh, there's the pilot's seat, foot pedals, more radio equipment, and control columns. So, okie dokie. I think these little things are the machine gun drums. I've built a couple of Dornier 17s before, and these, okay, they're only what, 75 round, 100 round drums, or saddle drums technically. This thing you need a lot of those when you've got a machine gun that's capable of shooting 800 rounds a minute. Sorry. Once you've put all the detail on the interior of the cockpit, you glue the 2 sides of the cockpit together. Next, put the wing spars in, plus some extra pieces on the end, plus even more ammo drums. Importantly, also remember to put the tail wheel in. Either B45 or B46. Why have we got 2 different tail wheel options? Okay, you've got 2 different tail wheel options. And then glue the 2 sides of the fuselage together. Next, the 2 engines. Glue all the vents in, as well as the radiators, and the walls for the wheel bay. Glue the 2 sides of the nacelle together and you have an engine. Okay, let's get on to the next part of the instructions. So I did this so that it didn't just keep flapping in my hand then. Right, so what's the best way to do this bit? Right, start with putting the cockpit onto the front of the fuselage. while that's drying, glue the wheel bays into the underside of the wings, or the inside of the wings technically. I would say then glue upper and lower wings together, but it looks like you need to glue the lower wing onto the spars first, and then glue the upper wing onto the spars onto the lower wing. I would test fit this extremely a lot, especially when you say you glue these two bits in and then slot it straight in there to see if you got everything lined up properly. Do the same with that and that side as well. And then work on the tail. So we got this again. So we got the horizontal stabilizer in 2 pieces, but the actual the flaps that go up and down are 1 piece, but the stabilizer isn't. That's in 2 pieces, while those are in 1. Okay, must be a reason for that. And the little control parts there. Glue the rudders onto the sides. And that's it for that one. Next, glue the engines on. I say engines plural, but it only shows 1 engine, but I would assume you would have to do the same on the other side as well. Then more interior bits, which is all the machine guns. It always has 3 machine guns in the back here. 2 optional spare bits at the top and the aerial. Leave the aerial till last. And then glue the clear plastic on. I would use purpose clear plastic glue or PVA glue, because if you use the regular cement that you used to glue the rest of this thing together, the clear plastic will no longer be clear. It will fog up spectacularly. And potentially all the detail that's on the inside you won't be able to see. But again, all the machine guns as well, use PVA glue when gluing them in. Underside. So we've got the propeller need to be glued in. Looks like it can be a spinny propeller. So you would glue propeller onto back piece, spinner onto back piece, push that back piece through the front of the nacelle, or this piece here, and then glue that to the little nub on the inside, and then very carefully glue this middle piece, E13, to the nacelle. If you want spinny propeller. If you don't care about spinny propeller, glue the propeller to back piece, spinner to back piece to front nacelle to the rest of it. All good. Landing gear. So we got nice instructions on all the separate spars and struts for the landing gear. At least the wheels, wheels in 2 pieces again. With the mud flap, there's always a mud flap on these things. All that gets glued into there. Again, you have to do it twice for the other side as well. Same with the propeller. Air intake. Paint number 7. I assume that's paint number 7. We'll have a look in a minute. And then all the pieces underneath. So you got the, well, that's also the wheel bay covers. So you got to glue them on. Bombay. And the hatches to get in, and or camera equipment. These instructions clearly were not meant for just this kit, were they? Okay, that's it for the instructions part of the instructions. We got a nice lovely guide of the interior of the cockpit, and how generally quite cramped it was. Bit of the landing gear so you can actually see all the struts. I quite like this. It gives you an idea of what it did actually look like on the interior, as well as you get this and you're like, okay, I've got a rough idea that goes there and how this all goes together. Then you look up here and it gives you a bit more of a clue. It's like, okay, and you might be able to put 2 and 2 together. I think that was the same that was on the front. Also, we've just gone through the instructions, and now it tells us the history of the plane, plus the dimensions. Okay. Right, paint guides. Right, speaking of paint guides, let's have a look at the paints. How do they do it? Okay, so they've done it with letters. So each letter correlates to a different type of paint. And you have a model master code or an AKAH code. Apologies, I'm not aware of that particular brand of paint. But it gives you all the clue or everything that you need, and you've got quite a few of the German colours. Well, we've got 70, 71, 65, 66 and 02. That's pretty much all standard colours. 04, I recently remembered, is the yellow. So yeah, pretty standard Luftwaffe colours. Right, paint guides. Okay, you can actually just about make out the camouflage on that one. That's unfolding that, so I would assume the camouflage is the same. Just trying to look at the tails sections of JH and AH here. And yeah, there's a... and the nose. Yeah, so the tail you can make out as a slash there and a slash there between 70 and 71 on both variants. So it looks like it is the camouflage is the same over each plane, so you can get away with just doing the one. But okay, the obvious exception, you've got to remember to paint the yellow band on this one. So, okay, which ones have we got? So we got France 1940, or we have Finland 1941 in July. So yeah, there you go. That's actually a Battle of Britain one right there. So okie dokie, and there's one more on the back here, which is August of 41. So this one's a little bit different. It's got the standard, well, I say the standard camouflage that these three all share in common, except this one's got all the modelling on the side or underside of the plane here. I'm a bit confused because I can see the wing, which doesn't show any modelling, but the underside of the engine and the fuselage does. So yeah, a bit confused on that one. So okie dokie, and there's the paint again. Right, that's it for the instructions. Sprue time. Where to start with this one? I think we'll look at the one that's literally two of them identical ones, which are also in different colour plastic. So that's interesting. Yeah, they're both the same. Okay, engine nacelles. Let's have a look at these ones. There you go, get it focused. So let's have a look at the nacelles themselves. Sorry, I cannot get the camera focused. As soon as it focuses, I'm like, yes, I can see all the detail. Oh, sorry, you want the blurry image, don't you? Yeah, of course. Okay. So you're just going to have to bear with me. There is some recessed panel lines on the side here, but they're very, very thin and very shallow. So you're going to struggle a little bit there. The exhaust don't look too bad. We've got an air vent with no detail on the interior of it. The inside of the nacelles, no detail there. Not. These are I'm pretty certain are the exhaust covers, so they should go on the sides of the exhaust. That's what I would think they are, and yet there's 4 of them. Yeah, naturally there'd be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I've got 8 total. Okie dokie. Bit mixed. Some quite nice detail. You can just about make out the panel lines there now. Now it focuses. Yeah, you can see the panel lines and stuff, but almost looks like it's taken straight off a Spitfire, that one. Sorry, I just noticed that. I was just like, quite off-putting. But the yeah, the panel lines you can just make out there very thin, very shallow. So, but not pretty much no other detail there. This propeller looks like, the propeller looks like a propeller. Okay, not too off to a great start. Do the wings. So this side you're not going to see anything on the interior because you're literally not going to see this bit. This half. There you focus. So nice detail there. It's not too bad. Gives you, so you might be able to with the inside of the wheel base here, you might be able to line it up with this bit as well, actually. The fabric control surfaces, you can just about make out the wavy lines, but it is very, very subtle. Again, it was the other one that we looked at, the Heinkel 51, that had the same problem. It's very, very shallow, you barely see any of it. And here on the underside, or the outside of the wings, again, all the panel lines are there. But they're very thin, very shallow. You will struggle. You're going to struggle to see any of that lot, and be careful painting it as well. So just left the focus alone. Oh, God's sake, come on. Yay, there we go. Don't change, don't change. Alright, so again, the outside, the upper surfaces, not too bad. I've also just spotted a bit of work needed on that bit there. Otherwise, okay, the detail's there. You're going to lose it when you paint the thing up, so yeah. Airbrushing might be okay. Is this a different colour plastic? We got 3 different colour plastics. Apologies, we have, is that the same? Okay, yeah, we have 3 different colour plastic sprues. What on earth? ICM. Right, fuselage. Again, I'm not going to try and focus with the camera because clearly it does not want to work. But the detail, it's there. If you're airbrushing this thing, you probably have more luck. If you're paintbrushing it, or heavy stick brushing this thing, you're going to lose those panel lines. There's that door there again. Yeah, it's nice. There's like some of the struts here, completely pointless putting these on the outside of the struts because you're not going to see them. It's nice they're there though. I'll give it points for that. I like that. But the rest of the control surfaces, yeah, you're gonna, or any of the fuselage bits, you're gonna struggle with. When I said this thing carried a lot of drums for its machine guns, I was not kidding. That is all ammo drums. I hope you like losing stuff to the carpet monster. I would recommend just feed the carpet monster an entire box first before attempting to get that lot off the sprue. Or you cut it into blue tack and then with tweezers very gently try and take it off the blue tack and glue it into place. Just make sure the carpet monster has also not bribed the pair of tweezers, Because you know what happens, you pinch too hard and that piece will still go ping and you've lost it forever. The mythical carpet monster, if you've not met him yet, you've clearly not been doing this job long enough. Or this hobby long enough, beg your pardon. I'm going to mess with the focus. Can we... You focused on the machine guns. Okay, whatever. Well, they're machine guns. I could say that. They're definitely machine guns. I know what they're supposed to be. They're MG17s. MG15s, MG7. The airborne variant. I think there's supposed to be detail on the barrel, like the cooling, the vent holes. But it's not a smooth bit of plastic, as a bonus. Like the previous Dornier, they were smooth bits of plastic, but you could just about make out what they're supposed to be. I think it would work better with the drums on top of these, and then it would clearly just say, yes, this is definitely a MG17. These, yeah, it's kind of struggling with that a bit. But the drum, you put the drum on it, probably make it more stand out better. What's the inside of this look like? Absolutely bare plastic, because there's no detail in that bit. Cockpit section with... Oh, please tell me that's not flash. Or please tell me that's flash. That's flashy. More flash there and then on Gordon. But the interior, not too bad actually. So okay, so this is the top of the starboard side, and this will be the top of the port side. So we'll have a look at the starboard side first, and okay, there's some of the radios and stuff. Am I missing some photo etched for this? Or some decals? This looks like it could really do with this. Okay, so it's nice we got all these boxes and stuff lying around. That, okay, not lying around, but you glue into there. But what are they? I say you got some detail here, so you can see there's a X on that one, there's a round thing on that one. But what are they? And so you got the instrument panel there, all the like levers and stuff for the flaps and accelerators or throttle. It's too basic. It's too bland. It's like vanilla ice cream, but you forgot to put the vanilla in it. Okay. So we've got seat, we've got these are the control arms, P-hole tube by looks things. These are going to be for the seats. Landing gear struts, which, oh. In fact, yep. This is brand new out of the box, out of the bag. That's already broken. A sign of things to come when trying to make this kit. Especially with the landing gear struts this skinny. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Control column. Not too bad. The mud flaps. Yeah, mud flaps. That's supposed to be hollow. Oh no, that's all plastic. Okay, interesting. Oh. There's the that's where the pilot sits, because there's the footrests or foot paddles, pedals even. Two pieces for the nose cone. I suppose that's to block off. You put that in the back of that, and you just put all the cannons and stuff, cannons and machine guns there. I do like the instrument columns or instrument panels there. Nice. Again, could really do with decals on those. The wheels. So this is on the other Dornier. I was saying that they look like brand new tyres. The tread is just too deep. This is more what I was expecting to see. At least there's tread on the rear tyre as well, the tail wheel. But that's what I was more looking for. They're not too bad. I'll give this kit a compliment there. And the last of the landing struts are not too bad. I think those are little I think those go on the bombs. I don't think they were in this kit at all. Okay, I'm clear plastic time, so I'm just gonna try and do it on the wheels. Right, let's try and give the glass or the clear plastic the best chance as possible. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I'm going to reference a comment I made on one of the the reason that looks, I was like, oh, that's a clear bit. That's because there's a physical hole through that. There's a hole through there, so that's why you can see it nice, the plastic clearly under there. Yeah, I'm going to reference a video or comment I made in another video, one of the trainer videos. I have seen muddy water clearer than this bit of plastic. Yeah, okay, that's not good. There are frame lines as well. Ugh. You're going to struggle. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can just about make it out there. There is frame lines there, but they're almost flush with the rest of the glass. So, paintbrush, highly recommended. This isn't going to be a tough one. Let me bag and box this all back up again, and I will figure out the scores and the skill level for this. So, final reviews. Where do I start with this one? Let's start with the instructions. Let's go with the instructions first. ICM, if you do watch this video, I'd be very honoured if you did watch it, but those instructions need work. They will need work. The box is alive. Yeah, you can just about read them, but it's really a case of you've got to correlate what's in basically your hands, what's on the sprues in your hands, and try and get them to match the instructions as best as possible. They're not the best instructions, I'm afraid. The paint guide is, again, I think it's where it's been printed and photocopied several times. I would love to do this one. I'm doing the 1940s version to go the rest of my Battle of Britain stuff. But I would quite like to do this one because the modelling on the underside, that's quite cool and unique. I just can't see the colours I need to use. I can't see what I need to do. The instructions need work. That box is definitely alive. The parts themselves look okay. I think the best sums it up with the let's do the scores, because that was some of my views on what I think about it. Interior detail is nice. It looks like it's all there. going to be pain putting all the machine gun ammo drums on. But, major but, despite all the detail being there, all the parts being there, it also seems like it's lacking a lot of detail. I think this kit could really deal with either some photo etch or an additional decal sheet just for the cockpit section itself. Like, you've got a nice instrument panel, but a decal sheet would just make it stand out that little bit extra. Same with the rest on the inside. You got a load of boxes lying around. What are they for? I'm pretty certain there was radios in this thing, and radios have dials and switches and stuff on it. You're not going to tell what that is. So, interior detail level, or score. 1 being nothing, 5 being very well detailed. I'm going to have to go slap bang in the middle, a 3. If the detail was there, or if there was a decal sheet, 4, maybe even a 4.5. It's really nice. But it's so basic. I can only give it 3. But because it appears to all be in there, I can't give it less than a 3. Exterior detail as well. It is really, really nice. But I'm tempted only to give it a 3.5. In my personal opinion, a 3.5 for the exterior detail. And the main reason for that is simply because you're going to put any paint on this thing, and you're going to lose that detail. It might be worth, with a knife or a panel line tool, just going through and just making those lines just a little bit deeper or a little bit bigger, especially if you're going to hand brush this thing rather than airbrush. But I think even airbrush, you may struggle with this one to put all the panel lines in. Unless, of course, you fancy a really clean, shiny kit and with no panel lines. Yeah, that's down to you. But me personally, I think maybe a generous 3.5. Again, the detail is there, but it's going to feel like it's going to go. So, 3 for an interior, and a 3.5 for exterior detail. So, only a 6.5 on the score for this wing. I suppose possibly why the interior, they didn't bother putting too much in there, because you ain't going to see it through that muddy water of the cockpit. Come on, this thing's got glass everywhere around there, and you give us plastic that's, well, you can't even see through the damn thing. So, not great. So, instructions not great. Clear plastic not great. The detail is there, but lacking. But for any Dornier enthusiasts, or Dornier 17s, or 215s, this will make a nice addition to your kit. To your shelf even, to your collection. I haven't mentioned the skill level for this. Skill level 4. Plain and simple, this is a 4. You need to make a lot of kits to work before you work on this one. There's just too much there. And okay, I like locator studs. I've made a few planes without them. When I say locator studs, for those aren't aware, so you get a few scattered about around the fuselage. Like, for example, the fuselage. So when you line the two sides up, you know which parts, how you can line them up properly. Unfortunately, this hasn't got any. There's a couple of things to help. You've got the wing spars there. That will help a little bit with the fuselage itself. And in turn, the wings. But the nacelles and the cockpit section, nah. I definitely say this is going to be a skill level 4. This is quite going to be quite a difficult kit to put together, I think. Minus the fact you can't see anything on the interior. That's a major bugbear of mine. And the instructions as well, being vague as anything. Not too vague. You can see which parts you might need and just follow the numbers, and it'll tell you to glue it, part 1 to part 2, for example. This one's going to take a lot of time. A lot of time, a lot of effort. But it should look nice at the end, especially if, as I say, I intend to get at least one of, not every Dornier variant, that would be silly. But I've already got a Dornier Z, 2 Zs actually, a Z2 and a Z10. You saw I've got the E variant, or an F variant, and I've got a 215. What I'm hoping for is a Dornier 17 with either a P or an M variant. Reason for that is because it's the early style nose, but the inline engines, not the radials that the Z version has. No, beg your pardon, that's the E variant. Other way around. Early style nose, radial engine. That's what's on the P and E M variant. When I eventually get my hands on one of those kits, I will do an unboxing on it. Until then, hit the like button if you like the video. Comment below, have you made this kit? Is it as difficult as I think it is? Or actually, is it a lot easier? And yeah, subscribe for more. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, bye.